Now that you've understood what kinds of new requirements these enterprise systems have to support, keep in mind that these enterprise systems have to evolve to support these new requirements. That is, you can't trash all the enterprise systems you have and then rebuild them to support these new kinds of demands. Okay, you've got to work with what you have and evolve them to what you need. Okay, so now this slide basically illustrates the complexity of doing that. So this is an example of a real enterprise system. This is a picture of a real enterprise system. You can see how complex, how many components there are, and how in how many complex ways these components are interconnected. This picture was, derived by putting a crawler on one system and allowing it to spread like a worm to all the connecting components and to the components that connected those components and so on, and that then returned back a complete picture of that enterprise system. So this includes things like hardware components, operating systems, virtual machines, networking components, routers, things like that, applications. It's that kind of picture. Okay, so imagine taking a system that looks like this and modifying bits of it to be able to provide new requirements, new services. Okay, this picture illustrates in a nutshell the complexity of doing something like that. The next challenge that has to be faced in the software engineering of these complex enterprise systems is cultural. So you will be part of an IT organization or a computing organization that has to provide IT services or computing services to the larger companies, and you will be a collection of engineers with the mindset and the personality characteristics of engineers, thoughtfulness, systematic thinking, to some degree introvertedness, things like that, dealing with people with other characteristics, salespeople who are extroverted and intuitive thinkers as opposed to systematic deep thinkers, people who make decisions on the fly without thinking through things, people who use different vocabulary, who don't understand the vocabulary you are using, don't understand things like Ethernet or .NET or JSP pages or EJBs, things like that. So there will be cultural issues that you have to overcome when you try to understand and build and change these enterprise systems. And then there are fiscal challenges. So because IT has become such a large component of any company's investment, um, companies are looking at their IT or computing costs and trying to reduce them. So there are process improvement efforts, centralization efforts, standardization efforts, focus on governance and project management, um, not a focus on innovation and creativity and so on. So there is a real effort by every business to control the costs of IT. Okay, so because of that, it's quite possible that an IT organization within an enterprise feels stifled and not allowed to create. And engineers in general um, love to create or are in their profession because they see it as a creative profession, and now they're being obstructed because of cost control or fiscal reasons from doing that creativity. Okay, so so this is both a cultural problem as well as a business problem, and so you as software engineers will have to overcome that. And so we finally come to the agenda for this course. So we talked about what enterprise systems are and what the challenges are of these enterprise systems. Um, and the agenda for this course is basically to study frameworks and apply frameworks that address these various aspects that we covered. So frameworks for business analysis, frameworks for alignment of IT with the business, frameworks for understanding requirements, or rather collecting requirements, and then frameworks for understanding these requirements and understanding what kind of solution has to be delivered. And then frameworks for managing these large IT projects, frameworks for architecting large systems, frameworks for designing systems, and then frameworks for deploying and maintaining and running these systems. And not only just understanding each of these frameworks in isolation, but understanding how to put these frameworks together to achieve a particular system goal and therefore achieve a certain business goal.